Hello everyone! Welcome to my presentation on visual media and information. Today, we'll dive into what visual media is, explore its various types and purposes, and look at the core design elements and principles that make visual communication effective. By the end of this session, you'll know how to define visual media, identify its different types, and even begin creating visual content of your own. Let's get started. We're now diving into the basics. What exactly is visual media and how does it serve as a source of information? Visual information is the source of data or information represented visually, while visual media refers to all possible media technologies to reach a large number of audience. To combine, visual media and information is the materials, programs, applications, and the like that teachers and students use to formulate new information to aid learning through the use, analysis, evaluation, and production of visual images. Now that we know what visual media is, let's dive deeper into the types of visual media we encounter daily. First is photography. Photography captures images using a camera, conveying emotions, scenes, or narratives through still images. Next is video. Video combines moving images and sound to tell stories or share information widely used in film, television, and online platforms. Next is screenshots. Screenshots captures the display of screen, often used to share information from websites, apps, or software. Infographics. Infographics is the visual representations of information, data, or knowledge designed to make complex information easily understandable. Data visualization. It uses visual elements like charts, graphs, and maps to represent data clearly, making patterns and trends easier to identify. Comic strips or cartoons. Combines illustrations and text to tell a story or convey humor, often found in newspapers, books, or online. Memes. It captures cultural references or humorous content in a visual format, often with text, widely shared across social media platforms. Lastly, we have visual note-taking. It combines text and drawings to capture information and ideas visually, often used in educational settings or during meetings. Although there are many more forms of visual media beyond this, but today we'll focus on the most widely used types as they provide a strong foundation for understanding how visuals communicate ideas. So, let's move forward and let's look at the production side of visual media. Formal media is typically produced by established organizations ensuring accuracy and professionalism, whereas informal media like posts on social media is usually more personal or casual. This difference in production style influences how information is perceived by the audience. Let's now examine why visual media is so powerful. Visual information is primarily used to capture attention, create meaning, and aid memory. For instance, visuals make it easier to remember ideas and understand complex data, making them essential tools in communication and education. Next, we're diving into the fundamental elements of visual design. Line describes a shape or outline. It can create texture and can be thick or thin. Lines may be actual, implied, vertical, horizontal, diagonal, or contour. Shape, usually a geometric area that stands out from the space next to or around it, or because of differences in value, color, or texture. Shape may also be organic. Value, the degree of light and dark in a design. It is the contrast between black and white and all the tones in between. Value can be used with color as well as black and white. Contrast is the extreme changes between values. Texture, the way a surface feels or perceived to feel. Texture can be added to attract or repel interest of a visual element. Visual texture is the illusion of the surfaces, peaks, and valleys, resulting in a feeling of smoothness or roughness in objects. Color, determined by its hue, intensity, and value. Color and color combination can play a large role in the design. Color may be used for emphasis or to elicit emotions from viewers. Color may be warm, cool, or neutral. It plays a major role in our visual perception as it influences our reactions of the world around us. It is therefore important to create color palettes that will evoke the appropriate audience reactions. And lastly, form, a figure having volume and thickness. An illusion of a three-dimensional object can be implied through the use of light and shading. Form can be viewed from many angles. Now we'll look at the design principles that bring visual elements together into a coherent whole. Consistency of margins, typeface, type style, and colors is necessary, especially in slide presentation or documents that are more than one page. Center of interest, an area that first attracts attention in a composition. This area is more important when compared to the other objects or elements in a composition. This can be achieved by contrast of values, more colors, and placement in the format. Balance, a feeling of visual equality in shape, form, value, color, etc. Balance can be symmetrical and evenly balanced, or asymmetrical and unevenly balanced. Objects, values, colors, textures, shapes, forms, etc. can be used in creating balance in a composition. Harmony brings together a composition with similar units. For example, if your composition is using wavy lines and organic shapes, you should consistently use this type of lines and not put in just one geometric shape. Contrast offers some change in value, creating a visual discord in a composition. Contrast shows the difference between shapes and can be used as a background to bring objects out and forward in a design. It can also be used to create an area of emphasis. Directional movement, a visual flow through the composition. It can be suggestion of motion in the design as you move from object to object by way of placement and position. Directional movement can be created with a value pattern. It is with the placement of dark and light areas that you can move your attention through the format. Rhythm, a movement in which some elements recur regularly. Like a dance, it will have a flow of objects that will seem like the beat of music. And lastly, perspective. This is created through the arrangement of objects in two-dimensional space to look like what they appear in real life. Perspective is a learned meaning of the relationship between different objects seen in space. We've now covered the essentials of visual media, including its types, purposes, design elements, and principles. By applying these concepts, we can create impactful visuals that resonate with an audience. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you feel ready to explore and create visual media yourselves.